Hello, Adam Elmakias here, and I am going to show you how I use remote cameras in live concert settings. First of all, I want to apologize because I'm on a GoPro today. My DSLR is broken because I took too many pictures in the rain. Anyway, so when I upgrade gear, change gear, do anything with gear, it's usually because I am either A, inspired, or B, I have a problem. This was kind of a combination of the both. First of all, I was inspired by a guy named Kane Hibbard. He's an Australian photographer, and he took a photo from above at a concert of the Amity Flexion that I loved. I told him, I was like, I love this, I'm going to do this. He was like, do it. So I did it. He took it above because he was on the rafters. I can do that at 99% of the venues I'd been to. Only a few will give you access to up above. So I started using remote cameras. And remote cameras was something I had toyed with in the past, and I had seen people using it in sports and other areas. I wanted to do it myself. And doing stuff myself takes a little while because you got to figure out your workflow, you got to figure out your problems, you got to work out all your kinks. So I'm going to give you a cheat sheet. I'm going to tell you all the problems I ran into, how I solved them, and maybe this will help you give you a little jump start and you can start remote shooting too. Problem was I have to shoot a concert. I have like an hour to shoot it. Maybe I shoot it 10 times, maybe I shoot it one time. Regardless, the problem was I was only getting all the shots from where I was. I mean, that makes sense, I'm the photographer. But there's a lot of shots that are the same that I need to get every day, such as behind the drummer or from front of house. That's in like the front of the venue, kinda, where the crowd is, shooting right at the stage. Or maybe from above, places I can't get. Solution, shoot with more than one camera. Alright, so for a while, I would just get an assistant come out and he would stand in front of house and just take hundreds of photos from me. You don't have to do anything, just stands there. It goes, chick, 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 chick. I can't really take an assistant on the road with me, so I'd have to find people at venues, and that's not an option. So what I did was I got more cameras. I don't really want to own 3 cameras because of how often new technology comes out. I don't want to own 5 cameras, I just want to own 1 camera. That's all I ever shoot with on my body. And then I rented 2 cameras, and I use this company called Borrow Lenses. I rented 2 Canon 60s. 60s are important because they have Wi-Fi. Hopefully soon enough all technology will have Wi-Fi, but right now it's just a few of the newer cameras. Like my 5D Mark III, that's what I shoot with most of the time, does not have Wi-Fi, but a 60 does. So I got 2 of them. Now with these 2 cameras, I would post them around the venue. And I have some videos and some photos I'm going to show you throughout this thing that I'll kind of sprinkle in. But I would post them around the venue. I'd post them at front of house. I'd put them on a truss that would get raised up into the air and stay up there all day. I'd put them behind the drummer in a place where I can go during the set, but sometimes I just want to get a lot of shots of the drummer. Or maybe I put it on his drum and shoot it right at his face. Or maybe I put it right above him and shoot it down. Just places where if I go there during the set too often, or as often as I would like to, it's going to be intrusive to the live show, and that's a big no-no. I don't do that. I do not mess up live shows. The longest I'll ever get in the way of a fan is like 10 seconds and then I'll move. The longest I ever get in the way of a band member is like 2 seconds, then I'm out of there. And I feel bad. I legitimately feel bad. Even if the band says, come on, come here, it's fine. I'm like, I just feel, my gut hurts, my heart hurts. I want to ruin your live show. I don't want to be your center of attention. I'm looking at my notes here. I got it all listed out. So, for these 2 Canon 60s, I rented them for this recent run I did with All Time Low in the UK. And there was 5 shows. So not that many shows at massive venues. So for me to get everywhere was really difficult. Like, it could take me 10 minutes, which is about 2 or 3 songs, which is maybe 1/8 of their set, just to get somewhere. And then I missed all this shooting time. So what I did was I would mount 1 camera at front of house almost every show, and that camera would fire remotely every time I took a picture. How? I'll show you in a sec. But I also mount another camera somewhere else. One at front of house was with my 70 to 200 millimeter or my 24 to 70, and that allowed me to either get a pretty close-up crop of the stage or a far away shot of the stage. And I took tons of photos. Here, watch. I'll show you a little slideshow. That's a lot of photos. The other one I would mount with my fisheye. And this one would either go above the stage on a truss, behind the drummer, on the drummer, or no, that's pretty much it. Those are the places I can't get to. So, how did I do this? Well, I'll show you. I got a little bit of gear with me. And keep in mind, my gear is very travel efficient. I do not travel with many bags. I have way less clothing than I should have. But luckily, I don't have any dates while I'm on the road. So I'm good. But gear, here we go. I have this bag. It's a Think Tank Cable Management 30, which is probably just the size of 30. But I use it for grip gear and pocket wizards and stuff that I use for shooting on remote cameras. And it opens up real nice, just like that. And then this whole thing comes off, so it kind of peels away, which I love. I'm going to do it down here. You don't have to see it. So this is the main thing I use for shooting. And it's got a super clamp here, an umbrella swivel here, tripod mount here, or a ball swivel head. I don't know exactly the right term. I always try to figure out what everything's called before I start doing these, but I don't know the names of everything. I just know how they work. So yeah, got this guy, and this clamps onto things. Very, very strong, very strong. This right here goes onto trusses, behind the drummer, things like that. Love it. In addition to that, I also have this other tool, this nice little arm. And this is strong enough to hold a camera in certain positions. Not really supposed to maybe hold cameras this big, but this can go from a super clamp to the umbrella swivel. So this can make it longer. Like maybe this has to be low and the camera has to reach up high. You can use this. Or maybe the camera is coming down from something, and if I don't hang it lower, it'll have things in its view. That's what I use this for. In addition to that, I have these safety things. So basically these hook onto that and hook onto whatever it's on, just in case something falls. Because when you have a camera like 60 feet in the air, if it falls, that could potentially kill somebody. You do not want that, so safety first. And then I trigger them with pocket wizards. So what happens is, if you remember, I said when I fire one camera, it fires another camera. I attach this pocket wizard to here. And I have a little caddy thing for it. Sorry, everything's loose right now. Let me tighten this up, just for the sake of explaining it. Have a little caddy to it, and then I take one camera, and they already all have these mounts on them, so all I have to do is snap them on here, just like this, and then I can shoot it. So I put it remotely. Oh, well, I'm missing a step. So I do that, and then I have a cable that attaches the pocket wizard, attaches to the camera. And basically, whenever this pocket wizard goes off, then it'll fire this. Now, what fires the pocket wizard? Well, I'll tell you. I'm doing this example with less cameras than I have, because I only have this one, which I don't even use, because all my stuff's getting repaired. But bear with me. So in addition to that, on my main shooting camera, I have another pocket wizard. Put this pocket wizard up here, and every time I take a picture, it's meant to fire flashes, but I use it to fire cameras. So every time I take a picture with it, it fires my other cameras. There are about 500 or 800 photos from 2 different locations, and I only use 3 photos from there. But it's fine, because we live in a digital world. It does not matter. But yeah, that's how I fire them while I'm shooting this show. And this ensures that I can focus on what I'm doing, while at the same time get the other shots that would usually take me a long time to get during the show. That gives me more photos that I can work with. I have 2 of these guys, and sometimes I'll set up, and I'll have 3 or more, and I'll just set them up in different places. And then halfway through the set, without really taking much time, I can just take the camera off and switch it to a new position. All right, other little tricks I've learned along the way. So you get your camera positions up, you get your cameras focused, you get their Wi-Fi set up. And the Wi-Fi is set up, well, I'll show you how. Here's a video. Alright, so got my remote camera set up. You can see it here. Kind of ridiculous, but I needed a little higher in the air so I could get the right angle. I'm going to be firing it remotely with my pocket wizard. So every time I take a picture of my normal camera, then it's going to shoot a picture with my remote camera. So basically I have 2 of every photo. And that just makes sure that I don't have to be pressing another button while I'm taking photos with my normal camera during the show. In addition to that, I'm shooting with a 60, so I'm using Wi-Fi. So during the shoot, I have this nice little EOS remote app. And I just go to remote shooting. And now basically what that's going to do is it's going to open my camera up into live mode. And you can see now I can see what the focus is, what the shot is, and what I'm taking pictures of. So that's just to kind of fine-tune my settings. And I'm also going to use that. I'm going to have another camera that's a fisheye on stage. So yeah, there you go. I can also take pictures with the remote shooting if I want to, but I'm just going to be using the pocket wizard because it wouldn't make sense for me to have this going at the same time as my camera during the shoot, during the set. I can't shoot two things. So yeah, everything's just gonna be one camera. Yeah. The other camera I have is on stage. It's going to be behind Ryan, the drummer. So basically, every time I take a picture with my camera, just like the front of house one, it's going to take a picture from behind Ryan. And yeah, so I'm just basically gonna have like 700 of the same shot, and then I'm gonna go through and pick like 4 or 5, and that's the way I get a perfect shot from that. That's why I love digital. Yeah, I mean, if you could take pictures and it doesn't cost any money, then why not take 700 of them? Alright, well, just in case you didn't catch everything in that video, basically, app on my phone, iPhone, and it's basically everything you see on your camera and everything you do on your camera on your phone. It's something Canon makes, and I use it to control my camera through Wi-Fi. Downside, the cameras that go on the truss go way up in the air. So the Wi-Fi is great, but I don't use it to actually take the pictures from the camera. Like I said, I use the Pocket Wizard set. I just use it for setting up. So basically there's these huge trusses that hang around the stage, and they hang all the lights. And in the morning before the show at like 8 a.m., it's lowered all the way down to the stage. And that's when the crew builds it every day. So every venue we go to, they build the lighting truss again. And while they're building it, I'm working with them, figuring out where I can put my camera. And I have to worry about things like lights getting too hot, pyro going off and hitting my camera. Like for every day at the show, they're like, oh, you probably shouldn't have put it there. Your lens is going to explode. And after a while, I was like, you know what? Lens is going to explode. Let's just go with it. We got to get these shots. Got to get them somehow. Basically, it took me 5 days to get everything right. And by the last show, I could get good shots. But every day, something went wrong. First day, Wi-Fi didn't work. So because the camera goes way up high, I can't get the focus and the settings all correct while it's down low. It's almost impossible. That being said, once it raises up, I have the Wi-Fi network turned on, and I have the camera set to auto sleep. So go through this with me. Raises up into the air, goes to sleep. Wake it up by pressing the Pocket Wizard. Pocket Wizard can stay on all day. Doesn't matter. It won't die. Barely takes up any battery. Camera can't stay on all day. Will die. Has to sleep. Pocket Wizard. Wake up camera. Camera's awake. Wi-Fi. Correct. Control the camera. Set up the settings. Get it all set up. Show starts. Wi-Fi. Check to make the shots are great. Shoot it with your Pocket Wizard. Everything's good. Not really. So that's how it worked out theoretically. What ended up happening is one day the Wi-Fi didn't work. I don't know what happened. Wi-Fi was actually very faulty and hard to work with, but it eventually worked. Another day, I got like my camera all the way up there. Actually, that's a lie. I didn't hang my camera because I was worried about fire. Truss got all the way up, and I was like, damn, that looks awesome. So I went in and begged these workers. I was like, let me go in your cherry picker. It's like, all right, but you need a harness. And I was like, I need a harness? I was like, is this your guys' way of telling me you don't want to take me up on cherry picker? Because if that's what you want to do, I don't have to go up. But if you want me to get a harness, I'm going to figure it out. They're like, just get a harness. So I went and asked one of the lighting guys. He's like, I'm not supposed to do this, but he gave it to me. Went up in the harness, hung my camera up way high, so high, and something happened between then and showtime where it went crooked. I think I didn't tighten it enough. I don't know what happened, but it sucked. So that time I messed up. Other days what happened, yeah, just every day it messed up. Something went wrong until the last day I got it right. There's just a lot of variables when it goes into it, and once it goes up, I couldn't correct it. I guess I should mention that leading up to this tour, I did have a lot of practice shooting cameras remotely, except before I wasn't using Wi-Fi, so I was guessing focus and exposure and all that stuff, and then putting the camera up there. And I did shoot one show at Brixton Academy with All Time Low the year before, or earlier that, no, yeah, the year before, and got some pretty alright shots with it, and that was my first time trying it. And yeah, it worked out great. So I got lucky that time. This time it took a little more work, even though I had more gear. If you want to do this yourself, I suggest trying it out at a smaller concert first and really just figuring it out. I did do a bunch of other practice shows too, while I was in tour with other bands, but my idea was to get it right for these big concerts. And I love how the images turned out. In the future, I think I'm going to try to keep the camera closer to stage because I like how wide it looks like that. But other than that, I was pretty satisfied with it. You can see some of my various setups here. If you look at this one, I actually used 2 of these guys to hang up my camera because I needed the 70 to 200 on there. And yeah, it was a little sketchy, but it worked. So I'm happy about that. Other things that happened. One day I went up, I got permission, I got this awesome little special key card, and I got permission to go up into the rafters of the venue, which no other venues will let me do. So it's where like the people who run the spotlights go, and I actually got to hang my camera right by the spotlights. So I put a 7200 there that shot the stage kind of at a downward angle. And then in addition to that, I could go up there during the set and shoot this from above the stage with my fisheye. And I got some cool shots like that. Here they are. I don't know if you see me, but I gotta go up top. Let's pass. Takes me up top to set up for my camera up top, and it's kind of cool. It's up by where the spotlights are, up above the venue. So I'll show you. Up above the venue. I'll show you. It's kind of cool. don't know if you can see me very well, but this is my camera. So I'm gonna have this as a remote camera. It's gonna shoot the show from up top. Get some nice crowd shots and stage shots kind of mixed together. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I guess the hardest part for me doing this was I had to live the crew life, which I'm not trying to talk down on them. They just work so hard. Like, they are up 7 or 8 a.m. and they are asleep at like 2 or 3 a.m. It's crazy. And they did this like every day. So, but I had to be up early to hang my camera, and then I had to stay up as late as they did just to get my camera off the truss. And there was a few days where my camera would just end up in the dressing room. They'd be like, hey, we found your camera, we put it away for you. I guess I'm really thankful for all the crew members that helped me out. Can't really do it without working with them because I'm in their work zone. I don't know anything about it. These two guys, which I'm a piece of crap and forgot their name, but these two dudes helped me out a lot. So thank you guys for your help, and thank you for letting me use your stage. Yeah, I hope you guys enjoy the images, and I look forward to seeing some of your remote images you shoot yourself. If you have any questions on shooting remote images, just leave them in the comments. We live in a digital world. Utilize that unlimited photo taking you can use. And best of luck. All right, I'll catch you around. That's all I got for now. Till next time. And if you're just watching this video on YouTube, there's a whole blog that goes with this. So go check out the blog. It's got photos posted up there, and it's got gear links, all the things you need. AdamOMachias.com. All right, I'll catch you guys. Peace. Welcome to my office kind of setup that I have newly crafted. Decided to wear this shirt today because I like hard drives is nice, but when I look at the framing, I realize it kind of just says I like hard. So just know that I'm not kind of gross. It's actually just a funny little